following program is available in high definition on Channel 700. This program is designed and produced by the community with the support of TV Kojiko.
Shalom.
Jam.
Shanti.
We all want the same thing.
Peace.
And Rotary clubs
Sola.
are making it happen through international scholarships to promote peace around the world. Rotary, humanity in motion.
Hello, I'm Anthony Falcone of Falcone Law. We take a personal interest in our clients' businesses and a business-like approach to their personal matters in the areas of corporate and commercial law, real estate law, and wills and estates. We're here to help.
In business, opportunity is everywhere, and so is MNP. No matter the location or the situation, MNP is there wherever business takes you. Accounting, consulting, tax. Find out more at mnp.ca.
Python's Pit is an entrepreneurial challenge created by the Rotary Clubs of Halton and made possible by the generosity of our presenting sponsors, RBC Royal Bank and the MNP Group. Now, the rules are simple. Each presenter gets 3 minutes to pitch their ideas to the Pythons. The contestants have been provided with mentorship and guidance as part of the preparation process. It will then be up to the Pythons to determine if the ideas presented today are worthy of investment and if those ideas and entrepreneurs are fit for the pit. I am your host, Connie Smith, and I'd like to personally welcome you all to Python's Pit. Today on Python's Pit, we're going to introduce you to budding entrepreneurs who believe their ideas are innovative and unique. Our 5 Pythons from across Halton region are wealthy investors who have had success with their own entrepreneurial ideas, spirit, and passion. They are here today as venture capitalists to invest in the brightest, most innovative, and promising entrepreneurs of today. All right, let's meet our Pythons. George Minakakis is a global retail strategist who calls Milton home. George currently is the Chief Executive Officer for Inception Retail Group. In this organization, he leads a group of partners who seek and invest in retail-related enterprises. In his not-too-distant past, George was solely responsible for the Canadian divisions of LensCrafters, Pearl Vision, and Sunglass Hut. He was also CEO for Greater China and Hong Kong, expanding LensCrafters there to over 250 locations. George is the author of Last Retailer Standing, which is about the changing retail industry and the challenges of staying relevant in an evolving market. Randy Pilon is a high-achieving strategic thinker. Randy is the founder, current president, and CEO of Virox Technologies Incorporated, an Oakville company based with a patented technology in disinfection and sterilization. Virox has been included in Profit Magazine's Companies to Watch rankings 3 times and has been the recipient of the prestigious Canadian American Business Council Award for Business Excellence and in 2013 received the Global Innovator Award at the Ontario Business Achievement Awards ceremony. Randy is a big supporter of education, spending 4 years on the Sheridan College Board of Governors and having donated in excess of $750,000 to the college for the new business school. Don D'Alessandro is the CEO and founder of Azertech Incorporated, a venture capital firm providing funding and consulting to growth companies. Don is a serial entrepreneur with 29 years founding, leading, and consulting to companies in diverse business sectors such as technology, manufacturing, finance, real estate, consumer goods, oil, and gas. John Romano is the owner of Nickelbrook Brewery and Better Bitters Brewing Company. He represents a family business success story. At 27, John gave up his career in the aerospace industry to open a small home brewery in Burlington that is now morphed into a full-fledged microbrewery. Today, Nickelbrook, named after John's two children, Nicholas and Brooke, is currently shipped all over the country. David Wolford practices business law and is a partner in the Southwestern Ontario and Toronto offices of Miller Thompson. He specializes in investment, corporate finance and governance, and the structuring and commercialization of intellectual property rights for emerging companies. Today's contestant is Vincent Marchese of VM Enterprises. VM Enterprises has invented the patented push rake called the Shake. Will the Pythons think that Vincent is fit for the pit?
Good afternoon, Pythons. My name is Vince Marchese, and I'm here today to ask for $250,000 for 25% equity in my company. For the last 30 years, I have been managing small and large manufacturing companies. In that time, I have designed many time-saving tools, and I studied the evolution of tools and how they became more efficient. For example, the shovel became the push shovel. The broom became a push broom. Even a paintbrush became a paint roller. I always wondered, why haven't rakes evolved the same way? Raking takes a lot of time and effort, and along with all that, all we're left with is back pain, muscle pains, and blisters. In 2012, 38,000 people went to the hospital for injuries directly caused from raking. Well, the rake has finally evolved. It's a patented push rake. We call it the Shake, and that comes from two words, shovel and rake. The Shake is faster. You can rake as fast as you can walk. It's easier, it glides along your grass, and then you just scoop up the leaves without ever touching them with your hands. And dump them into the receptacle. And it's less painful. No more blisters, no more repetitive motions. It's the easiest way to rake your lawn. In 2012, U.S. rake sales were $250 million. A third-party market analysis of the Shake projects that with 80% odds, we would be selling $17.3 million the first year. My business plan uses a much lower sales target of 1%, spread over 5 years. So that's $22 million over 5 years. And that equates to only 1% of 1/3 of the residential market. This is a brand new, innovative product. It's not a resell of the same product. And I believe we can do 10 to 20 times those numbers. Thank you.
Thank you, Vincent. The ask is $250,000 for 25%. Python George Minakakis has experience in retail and logistics. Before we hear what the Pythons have to say about the Shake, let's learn a little bit more about George Minakakis, the Python, when we return.
In business, opportunity is everywhere, and so is MNP. No matter the location or the situation, MNP is there wherever business takes you. Accounting, consulting, tax. Find out more at mnp.ca.
George, you're back as a Python. What's brought you back? You did it the first time. Something must have attracted you back.
Well, there's a lot of exciting, entrepreneurs out there who've got some interesting ideas, and we're all out here looking for something that's unique and could give us some opportunities to invest in something that's going to help us make some money as well. So we're being honest about it.
Tell me about what you look for now in a potential investment opportunity.
Well, the leader of the organization or the brand that they're trying to sell, it's very important. If they don't have the heart and the volition to bring it to life, then we're not talking. Once you get past that stage, let's talk about the marketability and scalability of this idea. And there are a lot of great ideas out there. They don't get off the ground because they don't have that marketability and scalability. And then once you get past that, it's the financial analysis. Is that really going to work? And is there money to be made in it, or is it short term and it's not a long-term approach to growing something? So there's a lot in there, but it comes down to the leader. It really does.
Thanks, George.
Salam. Shanti.
We all want the same thing.
Peace.
And Rotary clubs
Salam.
are making it happen. Through international scholarships to promote peace around the world. Rotary. Humanity in motion.
The Pythons have had the opportunity to hear the pitch from Vincent. It is now time for them to have a chance to ask questions and determine if the Sheikh is worthy of their money. Let's turn this over now to Python George Minikakis.
Vince, thank you very much for the presentation. Very well done. I have a number of questions, being a retailer. First of all, tell me about the creation of the shovel. Is that a complete product now? Is that what it's going to look like going forward?
That's a prototype of the all-in-one version. I originally came out with an attachment that attached to most shovels, most push shovels. This one is not all one piece. I modified the shake attachment and put it on a shovel, and I riveted it on. This will be molded all one. Previous exposure and discussions with Home Depot and Canadian Tire said that attachments don't sell. So they asked me to come up with an all-in-one version.
And the retail price for the all-in-one version will be?
$29.95 is the suggested retail price.
And how does that compare to other rakes?
Right in the middle. They range from, I think it was $10 up to $50.
Okay, and what's the price range that the masses pay for a rake?
For a normal rake, about $22.
Okay, so you're over the midpoint.
I'm over the midpoint, yes.
Okay. And so how do you think that being over the midpoint on price will actually affect your sales?
I don't. It's a totally new product. I mean, it's a simple carry forward from other tools that evolved from, like the broom went to a push broom. Yeah, it might not work in all instances, but a push broom is much more efficient. The push rake is the same. It will glide. There's no effort. It takes one hand, and you just scoop up all your leaves. You never touch them. There's so much added value in using a shake. Our test showed that it was 3 to 5 times faster than using a leaf blower.
And how long has you been selling these?
I've only been, unfortunately, I only had 2,400 prototypes of the attachment, and in 4 days, I sold 2,000 of them at a trade show for $20, the attachment. Wow. And online, I've sold a couple hundred at $20 plus $18 shipping and handling.
Is this your full-time job now?
Now it is.
Now it is.
What's your cost?
My cost to manufacture just the head is $4.90. Total with the handle, depending on which style handle I go with and which shaft, looking at about a maximum $7.50.
That's $7.50 delivered or $7.50 just to manufacture it?
$7.50 delivered to me, not to the distribution centers like Canadian Tire and Home Depot.
What's your wholesale price going to be like to Canadian Tire?
$17.45.
And they're good with this? You've approached them, and
they made me a vendor, and they're waiting for me to post that I have product.
One thing I could see is I think you're going to need, and again another sale item, cleaning attachment. I can see leaves and little branches and stuff getting stuck in your little grooves.
The ones that are stuck up here is only because it's not.
Even your little grooves. I live in the country. Let me tell you, if anybody's raked a ton, it's me. And I find that my rake gets all jammed up all the time. I'm constantly stopping, pulling branches off and stuff. So I can see your little grooves getting jammed up.
What happens is, and they do get jammed up like every other rake, you just push down and back up, and it clears itself.
They'll clear itself.
This is the bottom design. Even though there are tines all the way across in the front, most of the tines are relieved. This allows the unit to actually drop deeper in the grass at the back so that you're not digging into the ground, because you're not supposed to use it like a shovel. It's not meant to dig.
Yeah.
You're just supposed to glide along,
yeah,
and that's it. And like I said, when it does get full, you just push down and it clears itself.
Well, this is a unique product. I guess the things that pop into my mind about it is that how heavy is it going to be? I mean, they don't build houses on large lots anymore. So how many houses are really going to need a rake these days? You rely on the wind to blow most of it away. So
well,
I'm just curious. where's the market really going to hit for you?
This product is not only good for leaves. I mean, leaves are a big market itself. I mean, 250 million rakes sold last year just in the U.S. But this product, the other reason I actually came up with it was things like apples, peaches, anything that falls, acorns, pine cones. You can't rake them up very easily. They get caught. You can't blow them away with a leaf blower. This will pick up whatever's there. It doesn't matter. In terms of weight, this is pretty close to what the weight would be if you'd like to feel it. It's a little heavy because, like I said, it's been riveted on. The final drawing weight for the headpiece was 3 pounds, 3.29 pounds. I've got 3 manufacturers set to manufacture them.
How much have you invested in the business so far?
Just in cash, just under $100,000. In time, over $300,000.
Okay.
So you have a mold already paid for and designed for?
The first mold for the attachment was a prototype mold. Unfortunately, I don't have that mold anymore.
So
but
part of the investment's going to go to tooling, I guess?
Most of the investment is going to go to tooling for the mold for that. In terms of the mold could handle 150,000 pieces a year per shift, so 3 shifts, close to 500,000 units. My business plan shows that with the 250,000, that'll buy me my first year and part of the second year's production run. My first year is very low targeted volume just to get it introduced, get it out. The second year goes up to 150,000 units.
So if I'm hearing you correctly then, you want to start producing some units, bring them to market, and hope that someone, Home Depot or Canadian Tire or anyone else comes along and gives you the large purchase order so that you can mass produce more.
Well, I'm beyond the hope stage. Home Depot flew me down to Atlanta to present this product to them. They loved it. The only thing they didn't want was the attachment. They wanted an all-in-one unit. Canadian Tire, Home Hardware, and Ace Hardware all have shown the same amount of interest. They're waiting for me to say, I've got product, and they're willing to put it in their stores.
So you're going to make this, you're going to sell this for $22?
No,
$29.95.
$29.95.
No, they're going to retail for that.
I'm going to sell it for $17.45.
Yeah, I got that. I thought I heard you say the 22 mark.
That's the average.
That's the average.
Sorry, average of a normal rate.
Got it.
And you have a patent on this?
I have a full U.S. patent and a Canadian patent that's about to be reviewed this June.
When was that filed?
2009.
And it covers this design?
Yes. I have 12 claims approved on my patent. It took a while to get through. 12. You can't even make anything that's similar to this. The closest thing they could compare or that stopped me from almost getting the patent was the front of a front-end loader.
Vince, in your material it says you're asking for $250 for the 25% equity, as we heard in the company, and an option to sell after 3 years. That's kind of odd. Can you just put a little background and details around that, please?
I have the faith that this company will take off and make big money, as you see in my projections, and I'll gladly buy back the...
so it's an option from the company?
Or if they want to sell to an outside, I mean, if the company gets first option, and then if they want to sell outside, or maybe I go IPO. I'm not even sure I'm going to last without somebody trying to come and buy this out.
That's one of the attractions, I think.
Yeah.
But the problem with shares, as we all know in a private company, is that they're not easily marketable.
Right.
And it's not easy to find a third-party buyer who's interested in buying out. So for the company to have the ability to buy back, it's going to have to generate enough cash to be able to afford that.
Yeah, it will.
So this glides pretty nicely on AstroTurf, but what about in the real world where it's...
Actually, on real grass, I find this has more friction because it's plastic against plastic, same materials. On real grass, it's damp.
Yeah.
It just seems to fly.
The Pythons have now heard the pitch. They've asked some very tough questions. Will they make an offer? Stay close because we're going to learn the outcome of that question in a few minutes. First, let's learn a little more about our gracious show sponsors.
In business, opportunity is everywhere, and so is MNP. No matter the location or the situation, MNP is there wherever business takes you. Accounting, consulting, tax. Find out more at mnp.ca.
Salam.
Jam.
Shanti.
We all want the same thing.
Peace.
And Rotary clubs
Salam.
are making it happen through international scholarships to promote peace around the world. Rotary, humanity in motion.
Welcome back. I'm here with Martin Van Zon of Intercom, one of the hallmark sponsors of Python's Pit. Martin, you're a Python original. You're a hallmark sponsor. Tell us how this all came to be.
Well, Connie, as you know, it's always about somebody making the call. So in our case, it was Mayor Rick Goldring sent me an email and suggested I meet with Farine, who is one of the founders of Python's Pit. And so we hooked up with Farine, and she came down to our office, had a little meeting, and she explained the concept of Python's Pit. And as an entrepreneur, having founded my own company 33 years ago, I think supporting these kinds of initiatives very important, particularly for Halton Region.
And specifically, describe the value that you've been able to bring to these aspiring entrepreneurs.
I believe, having worked with so many different brands, having done anything from batteries to bathing suits, having worked with consumer brands, B2B, business-to-business brands, understanding intellectual property, how to bring that to market, those are the type of things that we can obviously advise, startups with. But in my mind, the importance here is that there is this awareness about that you can be in charge of your own career, in charge of your own destiny, and surrounding yourself with a good group of consultants, if you will, whether that is marketers, advertisers, consultants in finance, lawyers, that all brings it to fruition.
Martin Van Zon, thank you so much.
Thank you, Connie.
The Python's questions have now been answered, so now it's time to find out which Pythons are willing to put their money on the line. George, what do you think?
Vince, I think you developed a neat product. I think that one of your challenges is how long you're going to sit on it before you do something with this. So I'm going to make your proposal. And if any of my colleagues like to jump in, that's great. But what I'm going to say to you is that I will help. I'll do two things. One, I will try and help you so that you can find a way to sell this to a retailer, either an exclusive or a broader base. But I think exclusive is your best bet. Okay. And two, I will help you financially. I don't know what that amount of money is at this stage to help you get that actually event happen. But at this point, whatever I give you, I will be alone.
Okay.
Okay. But I don't know what that amount of money is. I think that we have to have a broader discussion to better understand that.
Sure.
I'm intrigued by the product. I don't want to go alone on this because I don't know enough about the retail space, but I do know a fair bit about how to run successful businesses. So I would partner with my other Pythons if they were there. I have no issue on the money side to put in, but again, I'm with Georgia. I think that it has to be very targeted, and you need to move sooner than later. Yeah. So I'd want to have discussions around how to make that happen sooner rather than later, and as opposed to keep dragging this out. So I guess I'm saying I'm in with some of those conditions.
Okay.
I think I'm of the same mindset, and they've adequately covered the comments that I would make, so I definitely would go in to find out more on a deeper dive situation.
Yeah, it's for sure. I would like to be part of that. I'm not entirely sure I'm in the loan business, but I'd like to understand what George is thinking in that regard. Are you thinking of something that's convertible? Something like that, where there would be a piece of each royalty, something like that. But yeah, I mean, with George spearheading the due diligence on this, I'd be up for contributing to whatever that dollar amount comes to.
Great. Okay, now I'm getting confused because if I heard right, George said he'd be in this alone.
As a loan.
Oh, as a loan, not alone. Oh, okay, got it.
Don't getting back at me. So.
Oh, okay. I'm okay. Like I feel comfortable about this. I would be prepared to take it even further than a loan. What scares me is your tooling costs is going to be hefty, and then your operational costs, right? So $250,000 if you're doing this alone, not alone, is not going to last too long. And I think what George is thinking is the way to go. And then after that, you know, you're making some money. You were exclusive for a couple of years. It's out there. And then, you know, if it looks like a justifiable business, then you can look at, you know, continuing the operation, distributing it to other stores and stuff. But definitely intrigued, and I'd be prepared to invest or lend the money.
Great. I mean, it all sounds good. Individual investment or as a group. I could use the help, the support, the guidance. I mean, I didn't even know about going to a retailer to have them fund it. So I'm glad that you guys are here. This is the kind of knowledge that I need. I've got a lot of knowledge in manufacturing, setting up a business, doing startups. I mean, I'm well experienced at it. In terms of what you guys have done, I can't compare, so I want to learn from you, so I accept your offers.
Thank you.
Well, the Pythons have heard the pitch, and all are pretty well on board with moving forward to help Vince get the shake to market. They're willing to help financially, and whether it's an exact figure of $250,000, that's something to be figured out down the road. But for now, it's a good deal for Vincent and the Shake. Thank you, Rotary Clubs of Halton, for your continued support of the local entrepreneurial spirit and for bringing Python's Pit to the region. And thank you for watching, and please tune in again next time as we find out whether another aspiring Halton region entrepreneur is fit for the pit.
Oh, it was fantastic. I was nervous at the start. Originally driving over, I didn't have any nerves at all, and I felt very relaxed. But walking in front of that camera really hit you. But it went fantastic. Oh, I'm open to any of their offers, full funding, loan, anything. I need to get this moving, and I want to move it fast. It's taken long enough to get here. It's time to start selling. Oh, it was great. We got personalized training. I got to network with a lot of people. I met a lot of people, and it was just a really good, fun experience.
In business, opportunity is everywhere, and so is MNP. No matter the location or the situation, MNP is there wherever business takes you. Accounting, consulting, tax. Find out more at mnp.ca.
Salam.
Jam.
Shanti.
We all want the same thing.
Peace.
And Rotary Clubs
Salam.
are making it happen.
Eyvah.
Through international scholarships to promote peace around the world.
Happy.
Rotary. Humanity in motion.